Martin Odegaard, as a midfielder, needs to do more. So Man U won, Arsenal won. What can I say about this game? It was a boring first half. Maybe the first 10-15 minutes of the game, Arsenal were all over Man U. But for the rest of the game, it was just nothing until Bruno Fernandes's goal, which was a brilliant free kick. And the second half was just basically similar to the first half, barring the last 15 minutes, whereby it was not end to end between both teams. But in all, the game was a good game. I actually predicted an Arsenal win, even though they don't currently have a striker. I still predicted an Arsenal win because Man U have been all over the place all season. But it's unfortunate that Arsenal couldn't win the game. Although I am not surprised, considering how Jekyll and Hyde their performance have been this season. It has been hot or cold. You beat PSV 7-1 in the Champions League, but you are struggling to score a goal against Man U. So it's just that is the kind of season Arsenal is having. But in all, I feel Martin Odegaard as a midfielder needs to do more. And I am not saying he's not doing enough, but I don't think Martin Odegaard, or it's now obvious that Martin Odegaard is not a midfielder you can depend on. I mean, compare Martin Odegaard to Bruno Fernandes this season. Their difference in terms of quality is night and day. And I know Bruno Fernandes plays sometimes a slightly higher role than Martin Odegaard, but I still believe they are the same kind of player, and so Martin Odegaard should be doing more in a team that is relatively better than Bruno Fernandes. I mean, Bruno Fernandes have literally been carrying Man U for the last 2 seasons or more, and currently, even with how bad the Manchester United team is right now, Bruno Fernandes still gets into any Premier League team comfortably. So that is, he's a player who is decisive. He's a player who is decisive, as opposed to Martin Odegaard, who, yes, we love his cheeky flips and his scoop passes here and there, but then you have to affect the game. You have to affect the game to be put in the same conversation as the Kevin De Bruyne's. You have to affect the game more. You cannot play a whole season and in the Premier League you barely have 3 or 4 good contributions. I'm sorry, but we expect more. That is just what it is. As a player of the quality we know you have, we expect more from you. So it was just a bad day in the office for Arsenal, because that was a game they're supposed to have won. And I know the Premier League is already over for them, but at least you should make it a bit competitive. And then for the Aiden Haven handball in the 75th minute. I mean, what are your comments? What do you guys think about that? And I know the ball hit his head first before hitting his hands, but I feel he used his hand to his advantage in terms of gaining control of the ball at that phase of play. I mean, the ball could have hit his head and fallen to an opponent. Who knows? But the fact that he hit both hands and he gains control with the ball, it's just a weird one, because I know the rule says if the ball hits maybe any part of your body and directly strikes your hand, that it will not be ruled as a handball, except in cases of whereby you score a goal. But aside that, it just felt unfair not to give that as a penalty. It was just a weird one. But tell me, what do you think in the comment section? Was that supposed to be a penalty or not? Was it another unfortunate VAR call against Arsenal, or was this the right call? Let me hear what you think in the comment section. Secondly, Juventus were beaten at home by 4-0, and what a way to get their first loss of the season. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was Juventus' first loss of the season, and it was handed to them by a firing Atlanta team. I mean, they are not the pride of Bergamo for no reason. They've been having a brilliant season. They have actually been brilliant for the past 2 seasons, but even more so now this season, where they are full on competing for the title. And I'm glad that Atlanta won, and not just win, but they won emphatically. I mean, considering how lethargic they played the last week against Venezia, a match they could have won and would have sent them to the top. But I'm still glad they won Juventus and still kept themselves in and around that title contention. As a matter of fact, any slip up from Inter Milan and Atlanta overtakes them. So that is what I want to see. I think the Serie A is much more has become a much more competitive league as opposed to two, I think 3, 4 seasons ago, whereby it's you already know that a team is going to run away with it by February. So it is beautiful now to watch that it is carrying over up to the end. And again, the team at itself is a testament to how well they are coached by Gasperini and how good the quality of the individual players are. Take Ademola Lookman. That's another player most people have been sleeping on this season, who has been having a fine season, has been in fine form. And I know he may not be maybe top three in terms of Ballon d'Or nominations, but I reckon he'll still finish above eighth position, which was the last position, which is the highest position in Africa. And Nigeria has finished in the Ballon d'Or races for a very long time. So I reckon maybe he might overtake Victor Osimhen's Ballon d'Or position from last 2 seasons, I think. So, but it was a wonderful one watching Atlanta demolish a Juventus side that has been very good at not losing games all season. And the title race, as opposed to the Premier League, the title race in the Serie A and the La Liga are basically the most competitive ones for this season. As a matter of fact, in the La Liga, despite Barcelona not playing their game for the weekend, and with Real Madrid winning their game, and they cut the deficit now to, I think, just the goal difference that separates Barcelona now and Real Madrid. So as Barcelona has a game in hand, and whenever that match is fixed, I do hope they win so that they can keep up their title challenge. But yeah, that is just a brief review of some of the games I played on the weekend, and it was wonderful to watch. I didn't like Arsenal's performance, but the season, like I said, is already over for them as far as the Premier League is concerned. So they just have to compete with everything they have, every fiber of their being in the Champions League in order to save their season. Because as far as I'm concerned, this season is already bound to be a trophyless season. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.